Alright, so today I'm gonna talk a little bit about Dead Island 2 and why I like this game. So it's not particularly a review video per se. However, I do like the gameplay, the world building, the environmental storytelling, which is so dense and detailed, especially in the indoor areas. It truly gives that California, LA, Hollywood vibe to a T, and it nails it. Everything feels so lived in and feels so cluttered. When you walk through the levels, when you pass through the maps and all the spaces in between, you have a sense of, man, this place feels real and immersive. And that's what I really like about it. So, as far as I have gone through the game, I haven't reached the Santa Monica level. I'm still down in the sewers, by the way. And that's as far as I have gone through the story. But from what I have experienced so far, I basically really like it. And I know this video is very late to the game. That's how I like to do things. I'm just late to every party, let's just say. So, yeah, this is what I would say regarding this very late sort of review video. But with that out of the way, let's just get to it. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit about gameplay here. I think that overall the melee combat handles pretty well. And when everything comes together in terms of environmental hazards and what weapons you currently have to exploit said hazards, the melee combat will for sure satisfy. The map layout is in a way that funnels you to go toe to toe with the zombies and enemies and encourages this type of head on aggressiveness, which is great in my opinion. Many times you will find yourself in a situation where there are puddles of water on the ground and there is an electrical junction box that's short circuiting, so how you're going to take advantage of that situation is entirely up to you. You can wait for the zombies to come around near the puddle, then hit the junction box to make the water electrocute the enemies, or you can opt for a weapon mod that adds the electrocute capability to your weapon so that you won't even have to look for a junction box in the area. So there's a lot of interactivity with the environment and your weapons and what you can and cannot do. So there's a surprising amount of depth, in my opinion, when it comes to how you want to tackle an encounter. You can send enemies flying to their demise also using the dropkick ability, shoutouts to Dying Light, of course, which comes in very handy in tight spots and helps you create a little distance between you and the enemies. There are two more features to gameplay besides the environment interactivity. One is, of course, weapon mods that I talked a little bit about, and the other one being skill cards or ability cards. Weapon mods, like I said, give a lot of depth to the game. They also encourage you to go out of your way and explore more of the environment to grab crafting materials for yourself to create those mods. Not only that, but they change how you play, and the game also throws curveballs at you from time to time by adding enemies who are resistant to certain elemental attacks. So, how you're gonna deal with them, again, is entirely up to you. Well, in these particular cases, you're gonna have to go and craft a weapon mod that circumvents that hurdle, which is always a welcome change and keeps the gameplay fresh, in my opinion. Now, for the skill cards, I gotta say, I really did not like it at first, as it gave off too much of a mobile game, gacha game aesthetic, but the more I played, the more I wanted to tweak these cards to experiment and change my style of gameplay, basically. Not that the change is going to be anything drastic, but it's enough of an alteration for me to keep coming back to it from time to time. The versatility that it offers to your capabilities, such as more force for your dropkick or gaining more resilience the more you block enemy attacks, are two of my favorite perks or cards so far. So let's talk about the visual fidelity of the game for a little bit. I think not going the open world route did this game wonders from a technical point of view because it allowed the devs to put more detail in the environments without having to worry about rendering a big open world. And it runs pretty smoothly on my rig, which is pretty old, considering the standards of today's market. But that's besides the point. The lighting is also baked in, as there is no day and night cycle in this game. So some will find it a bit backwards, but to me it seems that since there is no real-time lighting system, again the devs are allowed to make the lighting look even better and work on those shadows and make them look even smoother, both in outdoor and indoor environments. I know this video is called Why I Like Dead Island 2, but it can't always be just sunshine and rainbows, let's be honest. The two things that I did not like during my time with this game so far are the multiplayer mode and some of the characters. Now, the multiplayer criticism is a bit nitpicky in my opinion because if you have a good group of friends to play with, then I'd imagine it'll be great. But when you're just playing with randos, which was my experience, and they just want to breeze past the maps, I think it takes away from the environmental storytelling aspect of the game, and you can't experience all of the effort that the devs have put in. Again, it is a nitpick because you can always play single player or with a bunch of friends who have a similar mindset. Now, as far as the characters are concerned, I can say that I like the first game's characters a bit better. These new ones just don't do it for me, especially characters like Danny or Bruno, who are just a mishmash of jumbled colors, and I just get confused looking at them. And there's no distinct silhouette associated with any of the characters at all either. Take a look at Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 and see how iconic those characters are compared to Dead Island's characters. Yes, even Dead Island 1 did not have strong character designs when compared to Left 4 Dead in my opinion, so the game still lacks in character design department. The story so far is not that bad, like I said, I still haven't reached the Santa Monica level. There are definitely moments where you are just immersed in the level of detail, in the character models and how they interact with the environment, and when they are in dialogue with you, you can see all the little pores and all the little animations that the devs have put in place, which is great in my opinion, and it helps again with the storytelling. But so far, it hasn't been anything special. To me, the core of the storytelling lies in the environmental sort, where you have to go to places and find these little notes and voice recordings, and then you correlate those notes and voice recordings to the environment that you're in. And everything kind of takes shape after that happens, which is pretty great in my opinion, as you get to connect the dots and see what actually went down. So, to me, that aspect of the game has done a better job than the story that was being told directly to you. So, anyways, this was my thoughts so far regarding Dead Island 2. I think this is it for now. If you like this video, if you like this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care. Have a great day.